We didn't get any messages in bottles. We didn't see any signals in the sky. Fortunately, you didn't choose any of these ways to share your thoughts. You discovered much more effective ways of making your voice heard. IFLA Global Vision is engaging more people than we ever imagined. An incredible 22 and almost every country in the world. 9,000 workshop participants with ideas from every generation of the library community, from the earliest career professionals to the most senior and experienced in the field. But this is just the beginning.
And now we are going to make all these wonderful ideas real. We are going to create a global action plan, and we will create this global action plan together with you. Therefore, we are asking you for your ideas. How can you, how can your community, how can your country contribute to a global action plan? What could be your part? And how can we break down barriers? How can we act most powerfully together in an action plan? These are the essential questions we are asking you. And how can IFLA support you best in this process? Send us your ideas. Let's make our vision real. It's our vision. It's our future. I guess I'm as tired as you. It's substantial speeches and so many ideas, but I hope that I can give you some excitement. The excitement like I have, and the excitement of such a report, such an outstanding report, what we have produced. When I say we, this means we all together. It's your report. And I have now really the great privilege to present you the report summary, the IFLA Global Vision report summary with 10 highlights and 10 opportunities. You will get this report at the end of my speech, and at the same time, this report will go online. This means this is the good news to all are watching us with live streaming. You will get this report, and all librarians all over the world can read this report, this exciting report. This report gives you, on the first page, an overview who contributed. And then, inside, on page 2 and 3, you get the key finding of the report, and you will get 10 highlights and 10 opportunities, the top 10 highlights and the top opportunities. And on page 4, you will get our ideas, why we are doing it, what we did, where we are, and where we will go. And you see here then an infographic, what we want to do together with you again. You see here a picture of the world. This is the cover of the Global Vision report. But what you see here is a different view on the world as it's usual. Usually you find a map of the world with borders. This map doesn't have borders. We don't accept borders. We want to overcome borders. What we do want with this Global Vision report is to connect the world, to connect the whole library field to act together. Therefore, you don't find here any borders, you find here only connections. This is our view on the global library field. Let's go inside. Let's go deeper. The challenge already about international organizations, and I guess all of you, the United Nations has 193 member states. And this report is produced with the input from 190 membership states on seven continents. Never before has there been such a report with such a response. It's incredible what happened here. And when I said it came from 7 continents and 190 countries, but you should think that there are many countries, they had really problems in this time. We had here real natural disasters at this moment. It was a hard time for many of these countries, but even in this time, they contributed and stayed with us and connected with the global library field. This is outstanding. We started 1 year ago in Athens with the kickoff meeting and motivated the colleagues of your standing committees to then IFLA out and invited representatives from all. This means discussed intensively in workshops exactly the same question. And this is for me a picture which is overwhelming. Can you imagine that at the same time these librarians all over the world discussed in workshops all around the world the same questions, contributed in days of discussions, 9,300 intensely, really vibrant discussions. That's an incredible picture when you think it pops up in this continent, in the next continent at the same time, and it unites us. But we were clear that that couldn't be all, and therefore we started in Wrocław the online voting, and we got back a feedback from almost 22,000 colleagues. 22,000 colleagues from all over the world contributed to it, gave us their feedback. There has never been such an initiative before. There has never been such a survey before. We never got in any way such an input, and no other organizations in the library field got it in the past. And when you see the contribution of these 22, say most of them came from Europe, 58%, such a response. It's outstanding. And we got 3.3% from the MENA region. And this is also remarkable because the MENA region has not such a high percentage in the worldwide population, and this 3.3% is really a high impact from the MENA region too. This means this response, you see that all regions of the world are really involved in this. And for many librarians, it was the first time that they got involved in a global discussion. And it was also for IFLA new, because when you think IFLA has members in 140 countries, or had at the beginning of this discussion, members in 140 countries, and we got response from 190 countries. This is incredible. This means we reached out to more and more librarians in the world as we have membership. And it's clear that this is also an awareness-raising campaign, but also a membership campaign for IFLA. And the good result is that many of these library associations became member of IFLA, and we have now around 150 members, but this cannot be the end. Our ambitious goal must be really to cover them all and to make offers to all of them. What also is exciting is that we are able really to bring all generations and library types. You know that most of the time leaders are not the youngest. That is most of the time so. And when I think back, especially when we went to the regional workshop where we invited high representatives from, especially from the library associations, directors of national libraries. These are experienced leaders. These are really experienced leaders with a long background in the library field. And what were our worries were that there was the danger to get just input from really a generation which is experienced and not from the next generation. But actually, with the global online voting, we got the response really from all. And when you see here, you see that the highest percentage came from people with 1 to 10 years of library experience. This means almost 37% are coming from the young generation, which is our future, and that's great to have this impact. And 30% have a background from 11 to 20%. This means this together, 2/3 of them are really from the next generation and gave a great signal that they are engaged and they want to be involved in this discussion. And that's wonderful, that it's not just a discussion of very experienced leaders who meet often. No, there are many people in who never contributed to it and who wants to get engaged. And what I said before, we were also able to bring all library types in. This is not a survey from one library type. You see that when you look at the global online votes, that 37% are coming from public libraries, almost the same from academic and research libraries. And I'm really happy that such a big proportion comes from the school libraries, that they are also involved, and special libraries and other types of libraries. And when you see this enormous engagement of national libraries with 4.6%, because actually we don't have so many national librarians in the world, and this is an incredible high engagement of national librarians in this survey. And this makes me confident that all are interested to contribute to our future. And what is always good is also good that not only librarians contributed to it. This all is immense encouraging, and I give you now a number which is extraordinary, and I guess all the researchers which we had today, and also our keynote speaker at the beginning we had today, would really invite us for this, what I show you now. 417,000 years of library experience are in this report. This is enormous, 470,000. And that's incredible, really, such a survey to have this with such an experience behind. This report can't be wrong with this experience. Most important that across all library types, all lengths of library engagement, we share the same values and goals worldwide. That's fantastic, and we will tomorrow in the workshop with all officers of IFLA dig deeper and show it more and give you more material, and we will do this then in other workshops. This means you will get more information. It's just here that you get the key finding. We are united globally in our goals and values. That's wonderful, but we must connect global and local actions effectively. This is necessary, acknowledging regional characteristics and requirements. This is essential to acknowledge it, and so just so we can really create it. This is exactly what our keynote speaker said in the morning. You have to bring also the differences on the table, and that we will do, and we should create this as a value. The whole report is written in a way you will see we have 10 highlights and 10 opportunities, and they're always corresponding. They are the two sides of the coin. We have always a highlight and we have an opportunity. Maybe you can also say it's a challenge. The first highlight which I want to present you is we are dedicated to equal and free access to information and knowledge. Across the library field, no value was more highly rated than a commitment to equal and free access to information and knowledge. This goes over all continents, this goes over all library types, this goes over all experience which we have in. But at the same time, and this brings us to the discussion of our last session, is we must be champions of intellectual freedom. Equal and free access to information and knowledge depends on freedom of expression. Libraries' role in ensuring this needs to be better understood. There is no access to information and knowledge possible without intellectual freedom. Access to information and knowledge depends on intellectual freedom, and this connection is one of the opportunities what we have to show. Second highlight, committed to supporting literacy, learning, and reading. Our traditional areas of strength supporting learning, literacy, and reading are universally recognized as central to the achievements of libraries' missions. What is here the opportunity? We must update our traditional roles in the digital age. To supporting learning, literacy, and reading meaningful in the digital age, we must adapt continuously. We cannot do it in the way like we did it 20 years before, and we cannot do it in the future like we are doing now. Services, collections, and practices must develop to meet changing user exceptions. Third highlight. We are focused on serving our communities. Regardless of how we are defining community, we share a deep commitment to meeting users' needs. We value diversity, inclusion, and the importance of providing a non-commercial public space. But at the same time, we need to understand community needs better and design services for impact. Expanding library outreach will help link with local partners, engage new and underserved sections of our communities, and have a measurable impact on people's lives. This is important to get this connection much better, and we have to really work hard on it. And this comes really clearly out of this report. Fourth highlight. We embrace digital innovation. The whole field strongly agrees on the essential role of digital innovation in realizing libraries' potential to enrich society, regardless of how extensively they already can and do use technology. This means we know we have frontrunner really with excellent digital services, and we have communities where the libraries don't have real extended and innovative digital services, but all over there is an understanding that we have to go for it. And this means we must keep up with ongoing technological changes, ensuring all libraries have the right tools, infrastructure, funding, and skills to seize the opportunities provided by digital innovation as a pressing need. One really important outcome when I think about the discussion of today is we have leaders who see the need for strong advocacy. Those in leadership positions consistently identify the need to advocate with leaders, influencers, and the wider community as high priority. This is especially seen in the workshops with the national associations, the regional workshops, where we had strong leaders assembled there. It's very, very high rated. But we need more and better advocates at all levels. This is also an outcome of the discussion and of the talks today. Everyone in the field needs a deeper understanding of the need for advocacy to improve perceptions and ultimately achieve our goals. Let me give you a slogan. Every librarian an advocate. This is needed, otherwise we will not succeed. And we have spoken today about the Davids and the Goliaths. We have spoken about the money, and we have spoken about intelligence, and we have spoken of the power of the people. We have the power of the people. We are millions, but we will only succeed if we advocate together. And it's not just a question of the leaders to advocate. Every librarian an advocate. This must be the goal of the leaders, to bring their staff to this action. This brings me to the next highlight. We see funding as one of our biggest challenges. This is not a surprise, I guess, for all of you. Securing resources and allocating them towards impact is an important part of providing services that effectively respond to community needs. No surprise about, but what we have to do is, and this came also out of the survey and of all discussions today, we need to ensure stakeholders understanding our value and impact. We can only change it when stakeholders understand our value and impact, making a stronger case for the ability of libraries to provide value will build recognition and support among decision makers. This is exactly what our keynote speaker said at the beginning. If you want to come on the menu, you have to be at the table. And this is what is also in our report. We see the need to build collaboration and partnership. We recognize working collaboratively amongst ourselves and in partnership with those outside as essential for creating a strong, united library field. And we need to develop a spirit of collaboration for it. This is a long work, and I guess it has to start immediately. Understanding and addressing actual and barriers to collaboration will help end tendency to work in isolation. We have to break up silos and realize the vision of a united library field. I like the next highlight really. I loved when I saw it, and I guess you like it too. We want to be less bureaucratic, inflexible, and resistant to change. It's obviously that the field shares a desire to be more proactive in its approach, open to innovation, and ready to let go of outdated or restrictive practices. This is a wonderful insight of this report, and it's an opportunity that we need to challenge current structures and behaviors, overcoming our passive mindset and embracing innovation and change will allow us to tackle the challenges facing the library field. I guess some of you, we just have two highlights more, and I guess some of you are missing a very important highlight. And I can promise it will come now. It's highlight 9. We are the guardians of the memory of the world. Libraries are the primary repositories of the world's documentary heritage and the ideas and creativity they contain. We are uniquely good at preserving and organizing knowledge for future generations. Without, there is no way of the world. That's clear. This is an understanding of the library field, a global understanding of the library field. And we need to maximize access to the world's documentary heritage. We cannot do it in the same way as we did it over 100 years. This became also clear. As a united library field, we must apply innovative practices and tools, share expertise and resources, and advocate for solutions to legal and funding challenges, to give access to the works we safeguard. These are real challenges we have to overcome if we want to be real successful guardians of the memory of the world. These are financial, these are technical, and these are also legal issues which we have to tackle. And now to the 10th, the last highlight. This is really encouraging for our future. It is our young professionals are really deeply committed and eager to lead. The high engagement in this process of those who are newer to the field is evidence of a desire to get involved in shaping the library future. This is really encouraging for all of us sitting here, but this means also we must give young professionals effective opportunities to lead, to learn, and to develop. This is essential. The field capacity to develop and connect young library professionals has to keep up with changing needs and allow them to become the leaders of the future. If we don't do it, we don't have a future. And I guess this is really one of the, on the one hand, one of the encouraging highlights what we have, but it's also clear we have to tackle the challenge, this challenge all together, really to bring young professionals in leading position in IFLA, outside of LIBE, in library associations, and in each library. And for this, we have to create programs. A vision without execution is a hallucination, I said in the morning. And I'm deeply convinced that this sentence is right. It was nice to create this vision report. And it's wonderful to have the wisdom of the whole global library field in, with an experience of 470,000 years in libraries. But if we don't start actions, this is a dry report. And therefore it is, we start actions, and our first action will be, we will create together with you the biggest idea store for actions. And we will start tomorrow with it. And this idea store, these IFLA idea stores for actions, will be a source of inspiration for all librarians in the world and for IFLA in planning for the future. And as I said also in the morning already, we need not only the input of tens of thousands of librarians. If we want really to succeed, we need the actions of millions. And for this, we need inspiration. And you, I trust in you, you will give us this inspiration. You will create the biggest idea store for actions which we have ever seen. And it will be our idea stores for action. And we will start the work on it tomorrow here in this room. And we will go out of this room and we will work with national organizations, we will work with our standing committees, and we will ask all librarians of the world, every individual librarian, to contribute to this idea store. Everyone will have the chance to contribute. This is the idea of IFLA, of an inclusive, participatory organization. I give you just here at the end an overview how we think about. We are, when you see the first line, this we have achieved already. We have done a lot, and we are in the middle of a process in this work. We will go on, and to start tomorrow, the kick-off meeting is all our section officers and SIG officers. This is, you are representing all our standing committees. IFLA's great standing committees with 1,200 experts working there. This is the biggest brain trust in the library world, and you representing them and will start the work. And we will ask you then to go to your standing committees and discuss with them to bring actions in these ideas, to ideas for actions. And IFLA will go out then and will organize 6 regional workshops in Latin America, in North America, in Europe, in the MENA region, in Asia, Oceania, and in Africa. And there we will invite the representatives from all countries to bring in their ideas for actions. And again, we will then go to Kuala Lumpur to our World Library and Information Congress. I hope you will come all to this Congress in Kuala Lumpur. And here we will open a call to the global field to bring actions on a website. This means we give all individual librarians the chance to contribute. And with this, we will give a report to the governing board for the December meeting to discuss all these ideas for actions. And the governing board, IFLA's governing board, will, with your ideas, set up a strategy. This means the strategy is depending on your input. You have the chance to define IFLA's strategy with your input. You never have had such a chance before. We never did it in this way. And the governing board will have this strategy ready in April 2019. And then there will happen again something very new. I will try to show it to you. In April, we will outreach to you, to all standing committees, and will work out tools for communication with you, that you already start action plans, and that these action plans are ready for the Congress 2019 in Athens. That the whole IFLA community is united with action plans, contributes to the strategy. I showed you in the morning this idea of a mosaic, of this Miro mosaic, with all the stones. And such a powerful picture depends on the input of all of you. If some stones are missed, it will not be powerful, it will not be colorful. This picture, this mosaic, IFLA strategy depends on you, on your input, and we will do it together. And we will create really an action plan for a strong and united library field, powering literate, informed, and participative societies. This is our goal. For this, we're doing it not for us, we're doing it for the society, to powering literate, informed, and participative societies. I trust in you that we are coming there, because it's our vision, it's our future, and we are working for it. And I hope you will get now this report, you will take it up, and you will go home, you will read it, and tomorrow we start the actions on it. And at the same time, it is going online now for the global library community. Thank you so much, and let's start the work tomorrow. This is it for what we are going, and we do it together. And let's have so much fun also tomorrow. We will start a great work together. I would invite now our president,